3, 2, 1, action. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome back to Now TV Canada, aka Future Productions at I Am Justin YouTube channel. I am your host, Jen. I'm very tired, not from lack of sleep last night, but just the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. From the disappointment of the last 12 years of my writing career and the success it should have had, all the people that were alive then that are not now. I had to take a day to breathe in the loss of Terence Stamp to go with everything else I've lost in those 12 years when every single one, maybe Christopher was the only one that was gone. So I wanted to start with the Gene Hackman envelope that I had sent. The date there when they returned it, and the original stamp dated from my mom's place in Burlington. So it was dated October 27th, 2015 when it was sent. And then it was November 5th, 2015 when they returned to sender. Now, I don't even think it even reached Gene Hackman, because we wouldn't have been in this mess if he had. Now, I just scribbled my handwriting on a piece of paper to write a letter to him briefly, just that one side, nothing on the other side. And then I just sent sample pages to get him motivated and be excited and have a great time about knowing that he didn't die in jail, an old man, completely forgotten as Lex Luthor. And the letter literally says, "Hi, Gene." Yeah, it says October 26, 2015. It's literally when I dated it for. I just thought you'd like to know that the saga continues. Lex Luthor is released from prison, allowed to die of old age on the outside. Superwoman really does exist. She's Clark Kent's fraternal twin sister. And Supergirl returns to Earth to save Earth and her family from a menacing imposter. The whole family is brought together in this movie. Lex Luthor gets to witness history. If you'd like to read and know anything more about the superhero family future, feel free to email me. And then I gave my facebook.com/iSuperwoman address and one of the emails I post on my description page all the time. And then I signed it Jennifer Cooley. And then, of course, it was just sample pages, which was the same thing I was trying to give to Tom Welling when we met at the Comic-Con in Toronto, when I paid to go take a picture with him, when he didn't realize, oh, look, it's the writer of Supergirl, You've Got Mail 2, and Smallville movies. Small section, very good section. I'm not going to read that section. What I did say yesterday was that when I randomly opened it to read something in memory of Terence Stamp, is that I was crying when I found that section. Now, I don't know if I'll get all the pages read here because I got to go to church. It is Sunday. But I'm not crying right now, so I thought it would be a good time to share parts of Supergirl trilogy, Supergirl 2 section, with all of you before I go. To make a point of how much I really wish I had the ability to turn the basement of this house into a recording studio and get Future Productions up and running here, and have another office in BC so I can produce different animated works and audio work with people, create jobs and income, and stay local as in Canadian owned and operated businesses, and then maybe United Kingdom or Europe to expand. But I'm nowhere near that yet. Okay, so it doesn't actually have a chapter heading yet. I don't even have the pages numbered in this book. I'm just saying that it's a very big binder full of pages. It's a big movie. Basically, he was just getting settled in after being released from prison, after being in jail for who knows how long with Otis. Like, they were in jail, because Christopher dropped them off in the prison cell itself. And it was like, see ya. Don't want to be in charge of these two guys. And they're like, hey, Superman, thanks a lot. And, care of it from here. And he's, yeah, I'm sure you will. That scene, remember? What I love this opportunity for is that you can re-release movies before you make the new movies with the work that's connected to those original movies, so people have it all fresh in their head, so they can go, oh wow, it's perfect, it matches, the story's great. So I'm going to pick up from that point where he's released and getting settled in. Lex Luthor, now settled into his renovated and somewhat bigger underground lair, realizing this imposter woman of a nuisance calling herself Superwoman was not going to go away so easily. He resigned himself on realizing that he still needed to move forward with his plans, but that he would have to take extra care. Caution would be needed to not err on the account of what might happen should that woman find out what he's doing before he to his plans. Lex Luthor goes, Otis, where is that confounded sidekick of mine when I need him? He laughs before going on to say, I must be growing soft in my old age. Did I just call that dimwit my sidekick? Otis, appearing from around the corner, spoke up in reply. Why, yes, Mr. Luthor, I think that is what you have indeed said, and I thank you for the compliment. Otis, now smiling with satisfaction for having caught Lex in a moment of weakness. Lex Luthor says, never mind what I said. You know I have an appointment today with the president of Capital One, who, to my good fortune, is in Metropolis on business matters, saving me the trip to Virginia. And I want my plans to work. I have to act fast. No time to waste, so I cannot be late. Bringing me to my point. Where is my new lucky jacket? I would never dare to go meet this Mr. Snapping his fingers, trying to bring the name to the forefront of his brain. Otis replies, Mr. Fairweather? Lex, his name is Mr. Fairweather. Who says, yes, that's it. Mr. Fairweather, he chuckles. What a funny name for a fella who holds such important financial position in the world today. I just wonder if it will play out to be a benefit to me. And Otis says, with how good your people's skills are, you are certain to get your way. Which brings me to ask, Lex, what exactly are you looking for from the president of Capital One? I mean, your money has been safely stored away in offshore accounts, racking up some good interest. So what could you need the credit for? You have loads of money. Lex Luthor says, Otis, honestly, sometimes I wonder just how you managed to get this far along in your life. What would you do without me? Not literally looking for an answer, Otis replies, spend most of my life going in and out of prison from committing a lifetime of petty crimes? Lex Luthor says, you weren't actually supposed to answer that, but I'm glad to see your brain is as sharp as ever. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, you didn't actually think I was going to go around with a bunch of cash on me at the delicate age and frame I'm at now, did you? I mean, with all the crime going on in the world today and everything. Lex has a hearty laugh. Ha, ha, ha. Now, where is my jacket? I don't want to be late. Otis says, right where I left it, where I laid it out for you this morning when I woke up before you. See, Otis pointing as he walks over to the new lounge chair in Lex's wonderful new office. Lex, slightly embarrassed, says, oh, as he nods with acknowledgement that Otis indeed had been most prepared for this morning. Thanks, Otis, but don't just stand there. Get it and help me get into it. You would think after all these years together, you would have this relationship down to an art. And Otis says, but Mr. Luthor, we've just spent the last should close. There hasn't been much need of me to help you with your suits. Lex Luthor, a little testy now, wanting to think of the years wasted. Not wanting to think of the years wasted, sorry. You weren't actually supposed to answer that either, Otis. Some things just don't need answering, even if I say them in the form of a question. Now he moves Otis out of the way of the view of himself in his full-length mirror. He brushes himself down, does up his buttons, checks his cuffs, makes sure his handkerchief is in perfect place. You are free to run along back into whatever it is you were doing, he says to Otis, while looking at himself in the mirror still. Otis, okay, Mr. Luthor, but one question before you go. When should I expect you return? Should I tell the cook to have your favorite dinner prepared for you? Lex says, not today, Otis. I'm thinking I will grab a bite to eat and have a night out on the town. Something tells me there will be much to celebrate today. Okay, Mr. Luthor, enjoy your day, stay safe, and you know how to reach me for anything you may need. And Mr. Luthor Lex goes, I know that, you ninny. That's what these newfangled things called cell phones are for. Well, I say so long as we don't drop them or get them wet, they should make my plans of taking over the world much easier to do. He literally just always means Metropolis, right? I will have to make sure everyone on staff of importance to my plans has one. But for the moment, I am a trite too busy, so I'm stuck with you. Please have that girl we rescued from the hospital. Magic blood. There's an issue there for him. He mumbled under his breath, brought here for me to speak with some more. I must find out more about what is in her head, about the check scam she showed us when I had her brought to the safe confines of my country abode. I'm wondering just how useful she too can be to my plans. It seems she is suffering from some kind of amnesia, so it is to my benefit for the moment. We don't know whether she works for the bad guys or the good guys when she is herself. I'd hate to waste my lucky streak. It comes to an abrupt end. If it comes to an abrupt end because she woke up to remembering who she is and thus no longer was so cooperative with me. For the time being, keep it that way as long as possible. But I do need more tests to run on her, so that there is a way to confirm whether or not she is indeed related to Superman in some way. The more I know while she is like this, the better for me to prepare for whatever there is that lies ahead, should her state of mind suddenly change. I must have all my avenues covered. Otis says, no problem, Mr. Luthor. I can most certainly handle this simple task. She will be here for you just as you request. Now go get him, boss. And Lex Luthor, yes, indeed. Lex fully agreed that it was time for him to make his mark to the world, that he is indeed back in business and stronger and better than ever. When he is done succeeding at his plans in taking over the world, we'll know he exists and that he plans to rule with Luthor as long as time will let him. He was without a doubt looking forward to unleashing his secret component to his whole master plan. That will be the day the people will know who to say forward to time indefinite. On that note, he skipped a beat in his step, realizing he had found his bounce again, grabbed his walking stick, and left Otis standing in the room with the wind to the back of him, blowing in his direction as the door in which he exited from closed swiftly behind him. So that's the I randomly opened to that I've shared with you guys. And the next section is literally Lex Luthor meeting up with Mr. Fairweather, the name of the guy for Capital One. So I saved that section in the story. Maybe I'll read some more of that on another day, but I just wanted to do that in memory of all of them. Christopher Reeves, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, Terence Stamp, and even Phil Donahue, who's passed away with them, and he was part of the Supergirl. Sorry, Phil Donahue is part of the Smallville reunion movie as a different named character, but it was inspired by him and his great history of being the world's best daytime talk show host ever. So that's my thing. I might share some part of that in the Smallville reunion movie later, but for today, I just wanted to finish the moment of time in memory of Terence Stamp and all those great actors who've made it possible for me to write such a amazing trilogy that's waiting for its turn to be told and shared with the world, and then compared to the fiasco of stuff that James Gunn got to make, in spite of the fact that all of my stuff was written first and that I had left him in the dust a long time ago, like 11 years ago. So you can see the difference between female writer and a female writer from Canada that's Canadian, and a Christian too, that is, a practicing one. So I should go and get ready for the rest of my day. I would like to eat some pear halves in syrup, well, the canned stuff, and just, maybe do some knitting. So peace out, you guys. Have a good Sunday. Hope all is well. Stay warm, stay safe, and stay happy. Superwoman signing out. Bye.